Happy Halloween! I need to take my headphones off. This is Michael Myers here. Woo! Anything for the bit. Anything. Hello, people. Welcome to our special Halloween live stream here at midnight. We're kicking it off here. I'm Casey Kelderman, joined with my /605 co-host Sam Lenz.
What up?
Sam the Damned Lenz, that is.
Casey the Killer Kelderman.
I
dig our new names.
All these nicknames are amazing. I love them. And I mean, we both dressed up as the two most iconic characters of Halloween season.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Sam from Trick or Treat and Michael Myers from Halloween. They just go hand in hand. They're like brothers.
They do. Like, someone should really make like an animated series about those two.
Have you ever seen? I saw some fan art where it's like has Michael Myers and Sam's like on his shoulders. I'm like,
yep.
Oh, that's so cute. Go kill teenagers together, please.
They really need to like actually do that. That would be awesome.
They should. That would be awesome. But yeah, Sam, thank you for joining me here at midnight.
Of course.
Here we are during the witching hour on Halloween. It's weird calling it Halloween night, even though it's technically Halloween night.
It's All Hallows Eve.
It's the eve of the Hallows Eve. But man, we're going to be doing a little watch along here at midnight. I hope some people join us and watch along. And if you do, please go ahead, drop a comment, and we can see them. We'll comment along, and we're just going to have a fun time. We're going to be here watching the Vincent Price, William Castle classic House on Haunted Hill.
Oh my God, this movie's amazing. I'm so excited.
This is a wild, wild movie.
It really is.
I mean, we talked about movies on the first episode of Slash Out, which is out right now. Go check it out. It is available. It's pretty easy to find. Head on over to our Facebook or our YouTube, and you can find it there. But we pitched horror all-nighters. And this was on my docket of possibilities, was House on Haunted Hill.
Yep. I when I was thinking of doing a black and white all-nighter for my theme, this was definitely on it. And even after I changed out of the theme, I almost put this one on. It's such a fun watch.
It is. And it's perfect to watch in a group setting. And I mean, during 2020, it's hard to do. I mean,
right.
We had we had plans for a Halloween party. We had to cancel those because COVID cases are rising like crazy here in South Dakota. And I mean, this is kind of the next best thing to do is get together, watch, a 1950s Vincent Price movie together.
Hell yeah.
All right, Sam, do you have any other final thoughts before we should jump into the movie?
No, man, I'm just ready to watch this thing. I'm stoked.
All right, so we're going to pull it up here. You'll be able to listen and watch along. So go ahead, comment along as you're watching. And this is House on Haunted Hill from 1959.
Booyah.
Sam, do you remember the first time you watched House on Haunted Hill?
Yeah, I do.
God, I love that opening.
It's such a great opening.
So good.
I
totally stole this for Killer Countdown, by the way.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic, though. The first time I watched this was actually on I got it in like a 20-pack of the DVD Walmart, and I just fell in love with it.
The ghosts are moving tonight, restless, hungry.
That's exactly how I watched this movie for the first time too. I think it was a 50-pack from Walmart. It was a bunch of public domain movies.
In just a minute, I'll show you the only really haunted house in Florida.
Yeah, this is one of the only ones in that pack that was worth it. Worth the crap, but it was amazing.
My brother have been murdered in it.
I think that's how a lot of people watched this movie for the first time was those 50 packs from the bargain bins at Walmart.
Found me in the morning.
Right.
I was almost dead.
Frederick Lauren.
There he is.
And I've rented the house on
The
Haunted
man, the
Hill
myth, the
tonight so that
legend.
my wife can
The
give
mustache.
a party. A haunted house party. She's so amusing. There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited. If any of you will spend the next 12 hours in this house, I'll give you each $10,000. Or your next of kin in case you don't survive. But here come our other guests.
Such a great line.
It really is.
It was my wife's idea to have our guests come in funeral cars.
This
She's
opening
so
really
amusing.
shouldn't work with the
Her
copious
sense of
amounts of
humor is, shall we
voiceover,
say,
but
original.
when you have Vincent
I
Price
dreamed
doing
of
it,
perhaps, it's
it
empty
works
now, but
100%.
after a night in
If
the
it was
house,
anyone else
yeah.
doing the voiceovers, it would
Who
not
knows?
work at all.
No, not at all.
This is
not
Lance
at all.
Schroeder, a test pilot. So no doubt a brave man. But don't you think you can be much braver if you're paid for it? And I happen to know that Lance needs the $10,000 I'll give him, if he's brave enough to stay all night. This is Ruth Bridges. You've no doubt read her column in the newspapers. She says her reason for coming to the party is to write a feature article on ghosts. She's also desperate for money. Gambles.
If you guys are watching along in the
You've
chat,
already
drop
met
a
Watson
comment and
A man
let us know the
living in
first time you guys
mortal
watched
fear of
House on the Haunted
and yet
Hill.
He is risking his life to spend another
Was it
night
in
there.
a cheap
Why?
bargain pack like me and Sam?
He says for money. This is Dr. David Trent, a psychiatrist. He claims that my ghost will help his work on hysteria. But don't you see a little touch of greed there? Around the mouth and eyes? This is Nora Manning. I picked her from the thousands of people who work for me because she needed the $10,000 more than most. Supports her whole family. Isn't she pretty? The party's starting now, and you have until midnight to find the house on Haunted Hill.
This is maybe a perfect opening to like a midnight movie. I love it.
This house rules too.
Oh, it does. It's so cool.
Hey, Andy Heller is in the chat. Andy the fat dude. Hi, Andy.
I am trying to get these comments pulled up on here. I'm doing terrible.
Have you watched many other William Castle movies?
I feel like I've seen a few, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. I still haven't seen the Vincent Price House of Wax, but I do enjoy the remake. So, because Castle did House of Wax, didn't he?
Oh man, now you're questioning what I know and what I don't know. I don't know if he did actually.
I don't either.
I don't think he did. Have you ever watched The Tingler?
I have not.
Do you know the story of The Tingler?
No, honestly.
So in college, I did a lot of like research on like I don't remember what it was even for, what the project was for, but it was for like gimmicks in movies.
Uh-huh.
And Castle was notorious for this. This is House on Haunted Hill was one of them. During scenes where like the skeletons pop out, he would have like ghosts and skeletons fly through the theater like on strings and stuff.
Oh, nice.
But in The Tingler, he had certain theaters rigged up so, like, when the tingler popped up on screen, the seats would tingle underneath people.
It isn't a very warm welcome.
Such a gimmicky
Only
thing.
the ghosts
That's
in this
awesome.
house are glad
They've
we're
really
here.
kind of they've really embraced that now
Are
with
we all
40X.
strangers to each
It
other?
sounds like
Mm-hmm.
that's
Don't you two know
the
Castle.
precursor to
I'm
it.
afraid I
Yeah.
don't even know your name.
I'm Nora Manning.
Lance Schroeder.
Is Frederick Lauren a friend of yours?
I've heard of him, but I've never met him.
I work for one of his companies, but I've never seen him.
I've never met the man either. Just a phone call. Do you know him?
No,
Well, then you're the only one of us who does.
I don't know him. All the details about renting the house were done by mail.
He's quite wealthy, isn't he?
Millions.
And 5 wives, I believe.
4, I think, so far.
A $50,000 party for only 5
This
people
has nothing
equals
to do with the
eating for a
movie we're
millionaire.
watching, but yes, Andy, Tay Diggs does rule.
Well, if I were going to haunt anybody, this would certainly be the house I'd do it in.
Who closed the door?
This thing's made of solid steel.
Do you think this movie came about because Castle played Clue?
Maybe.
Feels like a live action version of Clue.
Yeah, it really does.
Besides the Tim Curry live action version of Clue.
Yeah. Which is another great movie.
Oh, that's such a great movie.
Our guests are here, unfortunately.
Tim Curry and
alive.
Vincent Price cut from the same damn cloth.
Yeah, they really are. Although I
That's
really
everywhere.
would
The water
love,
barely trickles.
I would have loved to have
Couldn't
seen
you have had the
Vincent
place
Price
clean?
play a
That's
cross-dressing
darling, you know how
psychopath
ghosts
in
are,
one
they
of his
never
movies.
tidy up. That's a very fetching
I feel like
outfit,
he would have
hardly
pulled it off.
suitable for a party.
I'm not going to the party.
He would have crushed.
The spend the night ghost party was your idea, remember? Since it's going to cost me $50,000, I want you to have fun.
The party was my idea until you invited all the guests. Why all these strangers? Why none of our friends?
Friends? Do we have any friends?
No, your jealousy took care of that.
I had a reason for inviting each guest. I wanted kind of a cross-section. From psychiatrist to typist, and from drunk to jet pilot. They share one thing. They all need money. Now let's see if they're brave enough to earn it.
And you call this a party?
Could be.
Why do you always do that? It spoils the champagne.
It might explode.
Never does.
Would you guarantee that?
That isn't funny, Frederick.
Make a good headline. Playboy kills wife with champagne cork. Will you join me?
Such a
thank
terrible
you.
line, but Vincent Price crushes
Just
it.
a
Oh, he
sip.
does.
Might improve your humor.
My humor is fine,
I
thanks.
love how this movie
And
is
I haven't
basically a
poisoned
bunch
you.
of guests get caught between
It's always good to know that.
a rich dude and his wife just basically having a marital spat.
Have some. You'll enjoy the party more. Go on.
Your trust is so touching. And I'm not going to the party,
Of all my wives, you're the least agreeable.
but still alive.
My
Go
wives.
away for $1 million, tax-free.
I got Borat stuck in my head after Borat
Want it
2
all.
came out.
I
deserve
still
it all.
like. It's just not
Jealousy
going to
isn't
happen until after
tax-free.
October, but I am
Your
excited to
possessiveness
watch
is
the next
maddening.
one.
You know who could
Romantic
play
grounds for divorce.
Vincent Price in a Vincent Price
But I
biopic?
approve them.
Sasha Baron Cohen.
Oh
You'll
yeah,
slip up one of these days
that dude would
Think
kill
so?
it. He's a chameleon.
if I live long enough. You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
Something you ate, the doctor said.
Yes. Arsenic on the rocks. Annabelle. You'd do it again if you thought you could get away with it, wouldn't you?
Darling, what makes you think that?
Something about you.
You know, I think the
Very
reason that the remake just
Maybe you should get any
isn't
more ideas.
isn't as good
let the
is
ghosts
because
and
it
the
just
ghouls
doesn't have
disturb you.
Vincent Price. I mean, Vincent Price
Darling.
makes this movie.
The only ghoul in the house is you.
And that's the
Don't
thing
sit up
about
all
like
night thinking of ways to get rid
the
of me.
Dark Castle movies. The
Makes
the
me
couple that
Mhm.
I've seen, it's like it's missing that charm. That's what makes the Castle movies charming. Is Vincent Price.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But again, in the late '90s, early 2000s, I don't know who could have
This
pulled
is what she used.
that
in my
off.
brother
I
and
don't
her
know.
sister.
Yeah.
Hacked them to pieces. We found parts
I
of
think
the
that's
bodies
why I
all over
like the House of Wax
in places you
remake
wouldn't
is
think.
like I
Funny
haven't
thing
seen
is, the
the
heads have never
original.
been found.
Maybe
Hands
after I've
and
seen the
feet,
original,
things like
it'll
that.
taint the remake a little
No
bit
heads.
for me, but I don't
The
know.
wife, probably in
From
a
what I've
rage,
heard,
threatened
they're
her
not
husband
even the
with a
same
knife and then
story.
carried away by hysteria, took a swing at him and simply went on from there.
She certainly went on. How many people did she kill, Mr.
No,
Bridges?
Paris doesn't die in the
Only
Vincent
two.
Price one.
Her husband and her sister. No one else was here.
So there are two loose heads just
Hello,
floating
Rye
around.
Guy. Welcome to the stream.
You can hear
Just
them
left
at
a
night.
comment.
They whisper to each other
Oh,
and then
Rye
cry.
Guy, I dig your profile pic.
Since our host isn't here, would anyone
What a
care to mix
great
me a drink?
profile pic.
I'm
Certainly.
surprised that's not
What
your
would you
name
have?
that's still on the bottom.
I know. I almost went with it, and I was like, nah, I was
Good
trying to
evening.
figure out something a little bit better, and then I couldn't.
I'm your
So I
host,
just put mine.
Frederick Lauren. Since we're all strangers to each other, let's get acquainted with the drink, shall we?
Mr. Lauren, I advise you to call this party off now. The ghosts are already moving, and that's a
OG
bad
House
sign.
of Wax all
Let
the
me
way.
apologize for my wife. She'll join
I need
us
to get
later.
to that
What's
this
that?
weekend. I own it. I just haven't watched it yet.
Same.
I only ever watched parts.
Now,
I was
before the party
shown parts of it
begins,
as a kid
let's
in
go over
a
the
church
details.
youth group for some
The
reason.
caretakers will leave at
Why?
midnight,
I don't know.
locking us
They were
inside
talking about
until
House
they
of
come
Wax
back
one
in the
time,
morning.
and so someone brought
Once
like
the door is
the
locked, there's
VHS
no
or
way out.
something, and we watched like
Windows
scenes
have
from it.
bars
That's
the jail
awesome.
Would be proud of.
Why? I
That's-
don't
The
know
only
why
door
that
to
came
the
up.
outside locks
Weirdly
like a
enough,
phone.
that's how I watched Mel
No
Brooks' A
electricity,
History of the World Part
no
1,
phone,
was at
no one
a
within
church
miles.
youth gathering.
so no way to call for
Well, the
help.
funny thing is, my dad was like one of the, I don't even remember what
So
they
if
were
any of you
called.
decide
They're like
not to stay for
the mentors
party,
or
let
whatever.
me know
Yeah.
before
With a bunch of high
midnight.
schoolers, and he always just brought me
Maybe
along.
I
So it was a bunch of high
cannot
schoolers
make
talking
you
about
wait.
it, and I was just there.
I'm interested in your reasons for this.
That's awesome.
Party. Aside from pleasant company.
Ghosts, Doctor. I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost. And now my wife has given us all the opportunity to find out.
Amusing. Ghosts, etc., being only creations of hysteria, your party should be a success.
Well, Pritchard here promises us genuine ghosts.
7 now. Maybe more before morning.
That's cheerful.
4 men have been murdered in this house. And 3 women.
You planned your party very well, Mr. Lauren. 4 of us are men, 3 are women. A ghost for everybody.
Richard, why don't you take us on a tour through the house and let's see what happens.
You know what I never realized? Vincent Price was
See
a
that
tall
stain?
dude.
Yeah.
Blood.
Yeah, very imposing figure.
Mhm.
A young girl was killed here. And whatever got her wasn't human. Don't stand there.
What do you mean? Where?
And I still think it's awesome that his like big breakout role was the Invisible Man sequel, where he was only in it for all of like a
It's too late.
minute,
They've marked
Mhm.
and the rest of it
Ridiculous.
was
Proof
all
probably
just.
leaked.
I mean,
Oh, that must be what it is.
he got
Well,
by
help
on
me.
voice
I
alone,
would say
and
any
he's got such that
self-respecting male
distinct
I
voice
hope
that
it doesn't
just
come back.
it
Well, Mr.
launched
Pritchard,
him,
you're the
and I
life of
love
the
that.
party.
He hasn't even started.
When I watched that earlier
Wasn't
this
there a
year,
man
I
who
didn't even
threw his
realize it
wife
was
into a
Vincent
wine
Price.
vat or something?
Yeah,
He doesn't have a mustache.
There's
Yeah.
been a murder almost every place in this house.
Like invisibility removes your mustache too, I guess.
yeah. You have to be clean shaven if you're going to be invisible.
Right? Otherwise, it's just a mustache running around.
Yeah, the serum doesn't work on facial hair.
All this
It doesn't.
belonged to a Mr. Norton, who didn't die here. He was electrocuted later. Mr. Norton
Anytime I watch a Price movie, I always want to watch Bill Hader's SNL skits with him.
Yeah.
It's Price.
Threw her in. She was supposed to stay down,
He does a great impression.
but the bones came
Yes.
up. It's a funny thing, but none of the murders here were just ordinary. Just shooting, stabbing. They've all been sort of wild.
I actually did not know that Clint Eastwood's first role was in Revenge of the Future. That's awesome.
God, she didn't fall in.
You mean there's still acid in there?
I've not actually watched the sequels to Creature.
Yeah, I feel like once again I did like a long time because I was big into those Universal monster movies in like middle school when they started doing those legacy collections. But I don't remember a whole lot of them.
Destroys
I've
everything
been
with hair
going
and
through them
flesh.
since I got the 30 pack on Blu-ray,
Just leaves the bone.
and I don't know, just haven't gotten to all of them yet.
My, it's dry and dusty down here.
Well, there's a cure for that upstairs. Come on.
How'd you get invited to this party? No. Oh, go on. I mean, what'd he tell you?
Mr. Lawrence said everybody'd get $10,000.
But he didn't say anything about being locked in.
No.
He just made a deal with me on the phone, but nothing about having to stay.
Aren't you going to stay?
You know what Vincent Price role no one ever really talks about in the canon of like Vincent Price movies as highly as like House on a Haunted Hill or House of Wax or is his role in Ed Wood.
I don't know.
Or not Ed Wood,
Yeah,
Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands. Yeah.
Because of
Like,
much like Ed Wood and how Ed Wood worked with
are you gonna
Bela
do with it,
Lugosi
Val?
during his like last
get it?
years of his life. That feels
do
the
you mean
same relationship as
Won't he pay us if we stay?
Tim Burton and Vincent
Oh,
Price.
sure.
Like this is
Yeah.
the guy he grew up loving and watching on screen.
Oh, for
We
sure.
were in an
Yeah.
automobile accident.
I think it's really
now
cool
I'm the
too
only
in
one in the family who can make any money.
in Burton's feature length of Frank and Weenie,
Well, I've
how
never
the
seen so many
science teacher
doors.
is very clearly modeled after
Mhm.
Vincent Price. Like, yeah, Price's fingerprints are all over Burton's style. I love it.
Well, his style up until like 2007.
Yeah, fair.
Until he lost all his style.
Bottles.
Yeah, I still haven't made it through Dumbo. I've started that movie probably like 3 times. Can't finish it. I just can't.
We watched it one time and then I fell asleep.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I always either fall asleep or I just get so bored that I'm like, I'm gonna put on Scissorhands or Beetlejuice
go
or
anywhere?
Sweeney Todd. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. There is some legit creepy imagery in this movie. I love it. Like the old lady that pops out of the darkness. Just yep.
People give Castle shit for being a guy all about his gimmicks, but
They were like, how is that not terrifying?
yeah.
Yeah.
The guy
That
knows
creeps
how to
me
make
out.
a haunted house movie. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, he sure did.
you know what I just realized that scene reminds me of? Is
What?
The Conjuring 2 when Vera Farmiga is following the nun into the painting.
Yes.
Because it's very much the same thing. You follow the shadow of the nun.
Yep.
And this, you're following the lights shutting off until you get to where your frame of the shot is. I'm like, oh my God.
Yep. Yeah, I think people underestimate how much Castle had an influence on modern day horror. I
Mhm.
really do.
You all right?
Nothing that money won't cure. I must have bumped my head.
The only way you could bump your head in here is to run head on into the wall. You didn't do that, did you? Let's get a bandage on that.
I wonder why they didn't kill him.
Who?
He didn't bump his head. They hit him.
They?
Nora, when you came in, you said something about a ghost.
There was something.
What did it look like?
Tell you.
That house is
Wearing a
totally
black
so much
one that went all
bigger
the way
than
to
what's
the floor.
actually shown in the movie.
Weren't you a little frightened
Oh, yeah.
at the time?
100%.
Yes.
It looks like a prison.
It
That,
does.
Mr. Lauren, is
The,
hysteria.
it
Then,
doesn't
Doctor,
look
how
like
do you
a house
explain what
at
happened
all.
to Lance? Was that hysteria too?
You better get that checked in a day or so.
Thanks, Doc.
That house has like a very modern look too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different than most of the haunted houses of this era because it's not. I mean, it's not a
Ghosts are
castle.
coming closer,
No.
Mr. Lauren.
Like you look at like
It's very
you know,
flat. Like the roof is it's flat shaped.
More than
Like
I
when you think of a haunted
Yeah.
house, it's always the pointed tips
Would you
and
like a drink, Lance?
right.
No
the
thanks.
sharp edges. This is just flat.
When I think haunted house, I think the Fall of the House of Usher, or
Lauren, are you really
the
going to pay
Haunting
when you
of Hill
stay all
House
night?
or whatnot. You
Certainly.
don't think
$10,000.
something so
Will there be
chic
much
and
red
modern
tape
like
or
this.
delay?
Which,
Or even like Dracula's castle.
Frankly, yes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There you are, my dear.
Someone or something was in here when I came in. Where?
Those candles
The door was
really
locked.
brighten
How
up
did
a
it get
room.
out?
Mm-hmm.
What you saw might have been a ghost, Nora.
It's not the lights
It
off
was
screen.
no ghost.
I don't know. I was so scared.
Sound different to you?
Yes.
Three, 6, 9, 12. 12 feet. Three, 6. Now I'm gonna knock on the other wall. When you hear me, you knock on this wall.
10 Rillington Place. I haven't even heard of that one. I'm gonna have to check that out.
You know how we were talking about earlier, like how much influence this movie's had?
Yeah.
This right here is totally a modern, all that. But God, that's so good.
It really is. It gets me every time.
I love how she just glides out of the room too.
Yeah.
But like them counting like the paces between the rooms, I'm like, that's such a modern thing to have in a haunted house movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where'd it come from?
From in here.
Whereas most movies would have like kept building up this Castle's just like, nah, screw it. Throw the scary lady in here.
Lance, it doesn't run, it just floats.
Yeah, but why didn't I see it?
You don't believe me.
How can I?
I'm Annabelle Lauren. You must be Miss Manning. I realize this is a very unusual and I'm afraid very dull party. Wouldn't you like to freshen up? This is your room. Depressing, isn't it? I doubt if I'll spend much time here. It's going to rain. Perfect atmosphere for my husband's party. Why did you come here?
He said he'd give me $10,000.
Why did he pick you?
I don't know. My supervisor just came and said I'd
$10,000 would put me in a haunted house for a night. I'll just say that. Like, I would be one of these poor schmucks doing all this stuff.
I just met him tonight.
$10 would put me in a haunted house at night.
Yeah, that's true. Like, you wouldn't actually have to bribe me to go to one.
What were you doing wandering around by yourself?
Granted, I'd pay $10 to go to a haunted house.
Mr.
Right.
Schroeder. I just left, that's all.
Don't do it again. Don't go
Do you do
anywhere
those?
in
Do
the
you do
house by
haunted houses?
You
Like
know,
like Halloween haunted houses, not like legit
in
haunted
danger.
house. You know what I mean? Know what I'm talking
I've
like
actually-
not ghostly ones, but like
Right.
Halloween
I
Halloween
hope for your
season
sake
ones.
you never find
like the
Like
the
JC's
people
haunted
jump
house.
out and
Yeah.
those things. I've only been to one, and it was in my hometown when I came back to like visit the apple orchard or whatever, close to Halloween last year, and it wasn't like
Not exactly.
Are you the doctor?
it wasn't
No,
anything
no, I'm not sure.
spectacular.
Hi.
It was just some
You've heard
fun,
of
but
Oh,
I
it's,
do
just
want
a
to
bump
make
on
it
the
to
head.
one of these years. It's just this was the year I
Which is
had
my room.
all that planned,
I believe
and
this is it.
you know, just
Thank you,
didn't
Mrs.
happen.
I haven't
How about-
done one. I haven't done one since like high school.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's never been my thing.
See, I
like real haunted houses though. That's fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You were with the young girl in the cellar. Why was she
Yeah.
so upset?
There was a haunted graveyard
You don't
outside of
look
my
like the type to go
hometown
around
that
bumping his
we
head.
went out to
What really happened?
one weekend,
Well, Nora thought she
well
saw a
past
ghost,
midnight,
but, I didn't
and
see
it was terrifying.
She was just frightened.
And
yeah.
mad at me, I think. I kidded her about it.
I want to
was
tell the
joking about
whole
anything else that
damn
happened
story. Maybe that's for another
Now, don't tell me
podcast.
you're
But
taking
oh my
all this
god,
serious.
if
We
Yeah.
had to convince Blake
Well,
to do
Yeah.
a Flashlight
Find out
Ghost
what
Stories
happened.
episode.
yes,
Lance.
for real, we
I have
need
a
to do
few,
that.
and I think they're really like I've had some scary shit happen.
Yeah, we should definitely do that.
Sure,
I think that would be fun.
Me too.
Look, what's going on here anyway? I mean, what is with this party bit?
This is no party. He's planning something.
Your husband?
I wish I knew what it was.
Must be pretty big if he's going to lay out 50,000.
The money doesn't mean anything. He has a reason for getting us all up here to this dreadful old house.
Well, what for? He doesn't even know us.
Maybe that's exactly why.
See, I would go to Halloween Horror Nights just
Yeah,
because
I
that's
would
like
too.
Oh, he thinks that big money like his
that's
will
like
get
Comic-Con
rid
for horror nerds.
of- You know, of
Yeah,
course, it
yeah.
had his fourth wife.
For sure.
The first simply disappeared. The other two died.
I was gonna
Lance.
say I've been to LA once, and it was in September, so they were
mean
getting
he-
ready
Oh,
to
his
set up
doctor
like
said they died of heart
Halloween
attacks.
Horror Nights and stuff.
2 girls.
And so I missed it by a month. I was so pissed.
Oh man, that sucks.
My husband is
Mhm.
sometimes insane.
That would
but
literally
just
be the
nothing
only reason I would
matters
go to a
him.
theme park like that.
Please be careful.
Would he hurt you?
He would kill me if he could.
When we were there in LA, we did the whole Universal like backlot tour, until we got to where they have the Bates house in the hotel.
Oh yeah.
Right behind the hotel is massive sets from Jim Carrey's The Grinch. So you can see it over top of the hotel. Takes away all mood from the hotel.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, why do you still have those
You
sets?
badly hurt?
They're just waiting for Jim Carrey to,
Sign on
say
for
he'll
part
do a
2.
Grinch sequel.
Please, no.
You're so clever.
I'm not gonna lie, I would watch that.
I lie awake nights wondering why I married you.
I'd watch it over another animated one like they did a
You
few
didn't
years
marry me,
ago.
dear. I married you.
What?
Unpleasant.
I like that one.
And that one was horrible.
Hurry up.
I
Frederick,
loved
for the last time,
I
I'm not
loved
going
Kenan
to your
Thompson's
party.
character.
Oh, Keenan was,
Yeah.
was pretty good.
He's hilarious in that. And Fred the fat
You
moose
are
is funny.
going.
I like him. Or the fat reindeer. He's not a moose, I guess.
No.
For me, it's not a
Ready,
Grinch
dear?
movie unless it includes Frankenstein's monster.
But you adore me
Yeah.
as much if I were poor.
I mean, that's
Boris Karloff.
that's the gold standard,
That's
right?
it,
I
yeah.
mean,
It's almost time to lock up the house.
I've got that movie on VHS. I'm
Then your
staring at my
party will
copy
really
right
begin.
now.
I have it on VHS
I
too.
wonder how it
Nice.
I haven't watched it yet. I didn't have it last last Christmas, so
Nice.
I can't wait to pop it in on VHS this year.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I always watched it growing up. It's, it's that perennial classic.
Do you have this movie on VHS?
I don't. I wish I did. I have The Pit and the Pendulum on VHS.
Okay.
Nice.
Be down in
Yeah. Yeah. I dig it. I have this one on DVD. I think I have no, I don't have 2 versions of it on DVD,
Your host, my dear.
but I have it on DVD. I've got it on digital.
It's
I've
almost
got
midnight, Nora. We're all going to get together down in the living room.
All right, Mr. Lloyd. I'll be right down.
I just this week watched Vincent Price in The Raven,
Mm-hmm.
which has no similarity. Oh my god. This poor woman gets put through the ringer.
I know. It's a pretty gnarly effect to throw in this movie
Yeah, it really is.
for 1959. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
A year later, they would complain about a toilet being flushed, and
Right. I just watched The Raven, which was more of a comedy than a horror movie. It's got Vincent Price as this basically I don't know if you've seen it, but it's 2 wizards dueling each other basically. One of them turns the other into a raven. It's Boris Karloff versus Vincent Price, and it's hilarious. It's the zaniest thing I've ever seen, but I dug it a lot.
Where's Nora? Miss Manning.
Oh. Okay, come on. Do you want to say hey to everybody?
Don't want to stay here.
Nora, what happened?
Kitty.
This is Rascal. Say hi to the internet, Rascal.
Little rascal.
Yeah.
That's Jonas Slides and his wife.
Another great movie, Little Rascals.
They've been caretakers here for years. She's blind.
A movie that stars our president of the United States.
Doctor, it
God.
looks like we have a real case of hysteria on our hands.
I think she's just a little upset, not hysterical.
Good evening.
Hello, my dear. This is my wife. These are
My wife.
Ruth Bridges, Dr. Trent. You know what?
Running jokes. Keep them going.
And this is Lance Schroeder.
Get me out of here.
What about the 10,000?
I don't care. He wants to kill me.
Who wants to kill you?
Mr. Lord.
May I have your attention, please? I think you all remember the bargain we made about staying all night. $10,000 apiece. If any of you don't survive, $50,000 will be divided amongst the rest of you.
Since you talked
If
about
I should
Pit and the
die-
Pendulum earlier, have you ever watched the Stuart Gordon version?
I have
You
not.
will be paid by my estate.
I really
When the
should
door is
because
locked
I
from
can
the
imagine
check it
that
out.
the
is
caretakers will all be forced to
fantastic.
stay in this
It's
house.
it's pretty great.
If any of you decide not to stay, you must leave with the caretakers now.
You know,
You won't have a chance to change your minds later.
Elvira did
Because there'll be
her
no
second
way to get
movie, Elvira's Haunted
I don't
Hills,
want to stay.
and it's very much like a spoof on the Vincent Price, Roger Corman movies,
Mm-hmm.
like specifically like The Pit and the Pendulum and stuff. It's highly recommended on me. Like I love it. It's an Elvira movie, so you get your boob jokes and all that kind of stuff. But like, if you like the Corman
It isn't midnight yet. Who
Price
told them they could
movies,
leave?
They never leave before
you will
midnight.
love
They've gone
Elvira's
now.
Haunted Hills. It's got so many fun nods
I
to all
was going
those.
to ask you whether you wanted
It's
to stay or
great.
not. but
I
it seems
watched
that the
her
caretakers have made the
Mistress
decision
of the
for you.
Dark movie,
Yeah.
They're all locked
See,
in now.
I love that.
and I didn't love it.
I don't
Sorry,
know.
my
It's
dear,
like
but it's too
you know
late
me
now.
though. I like
Yeah.
it's
Darling,
peak '80s
haven't you
cheese,
had
and I
enough
just
of this silly game?
I'm into it.
Get
You
some
know,
cars up here for these people and let them
It's-
go home. But pay them
I
first.
won't argue that it's like a particularly well written or
This is your
constructed
part?
movie,
No.
but I just enjoy it.
And again, I think
My
my
wife's
idea of
faith
a
in my
perfect
ability to do
Elvira
the
movie
impossible.
was not that
We
movie,
will all have to stay in this
Yeah.
house until 8 o'clock. in the
where
I
she
don't
would
think
be
there's
like just
been-
an
We
ass
have
kicking
some party favors for
monster hunter
in these
who
little
hosts a
corners.
horror late night TV show.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think the perfect Elvira movie has
My
been
wife's
made
idea.
yet, but I do have faith that
I must say, I
What
What are you
Hopefully-
talking about? Happy Halloween Scooby Doo came out this year.
These things, but
That's
in case
true.
You don't, you just press down on this lever.
We get Daphne as Elvira. Come on.
yeah. And Elvira is a
You see they're loaded.
two-headed alien.
These are no good against the dead.
Where
Only
her hair is just,
Yeah, what was her hair? It was just a monkey.
I think it was a monkey, right?
Yeah, it was some kind of monkey.
I just rewatched the 2002 Scooby Doo movie.
Go ahead.
Man, that movie rules.
It does. It's so good.
Right?
I don't care what anybody says. That
Miss
is like
Bridges,
Matthew Lillard. Is
He's so good in that movie.
He is. It's
Oh, sure,
uncanny
yeah.
how good he is.
He shouldn't be that good.
No.
In the
who knows, you may want to use
Scooby-Doo
that before
movie,
this
like-
next film.
Oh, he's crazy good in that movie.
throw
Yeah.
these
Oh,
guns
I love
away.
it.
They won't do you any good.
I agree with Pritchard on that point, although not for the same reason.
Dr. Trent.
Hey, Right Guy gets it, man. We talked about that when we started the stream. This is totally Clue before Clue.
Yeah, exactly.
Suppose Nora had had a gun when
And
she
I looked
took
up when the
Bible.
Clue board game came out. It came out before, like 10 years before this movie did.
Oh yeah, I guarantee you this
I'm
movie
sure
was
we're not gonna
inspired
go
by
running
it.
around the
It
house
had to
shooting
have
each
been.
other, aren't you?
Yeah,
Who knows? Fear makes people do amazing things.
like short of calling everybody like different like naming everybody after different colors, this movie
You
is the
said your
Clue board.
sister-in-law killed a man and a woman here and cut them up? You said they found hands and feet, but they never found any heads. Would you like to see one of those heads? Would you all like to see one of those heads? Well then, just
This
follow
poor
me.
woman.
Price's face in that scene is priceless.
Darling, I really don't mean this.
Terrible joke.
I love the guns in the little coffins. It's such a
Just go look
cheesy
at my
touch,
suitcase.
but it's
Just go look.
entirely my bag.
It's gone.
Oh no, who could have seen that coming?
But it
Who,
was in
who
there.
could have taken
A
that?
woman's head.
Nora, I think you're a little upset. Would you care for a sedative?
Where's the fuck?
Get out, all of you! All of you, get out of here and leave me alone! Just get out of here!
You think it's all right to leave her by herself, Doctor?
I wish she'd taken the sedative.
Well, what do you suppose she thought she saw?
They're closing in on her.
Look, Doc, I think somebody else.
That's such a trope of movies during this time, giving women sedatives because they're crazy.
Yeah.
He's right.
Not believing them and calling them crazy and trying to give them sedatives.
Yes.
Join you in a minute.
It's 100%. Yeah.
Would not fly today. Shouldn't have flown back then.
No.
Do you think it would do any good if you went in and talked to her?
Do you think there really was a head in her suitcase?
I don't know.
A thing like that would put me right over the edge.
Would you sort of stay up here, I mean, in case she needs help?
All right. I'll be in my room. Just call it.
Thanks.
I like his suit. I want his suit.
Yeah. It's kind of dope.
It is.
I want Price's mustache, but my inability to grow facial hair means that I will probably never have his mustache.
Nor in frightening women.
Just draw it on.
In our case, it's gone far enough.
Just add a little every day, and then no one will notice.
Don't frighten her anymore.
Yeah, like that house is way bigger than what the interior sets are.
You mean that matte painting is bigger than any of the interior sets?
Yeah.
See, that's what I miss. I wish more movies today would use matte paintings instead of CGI.
Yeah, because I mean, even in like, what is it, 82 with Blade Runner, they use matte paintings and it looks seamless. You know, it's so good. Like, I was amazed at Young Frankenstein because I mean it very much used that. Oh my god, this movie goes hard for 1959. I was really impressed in Young Frankenstein, the level of craft that Mel Brooks puts into like recreating that vibe of the 30s Universal monster movies. It's so good. Good God.
A year later, people would yell about a guy wearing a dress, and here this guy is carrying a severed head around.
In a little while, she'll be one of them.
Like,
Where's Norton?
Where is she? It's too late. It's too late. You'll never find her again.
Pritchard, if you know where she is, you better tell me now.
She's gone. She's gone with them. There's nothing you can do about it.
it's a pretty great scream. I don't know logistically how that happens.
It doesn't.
Right? The rope's going the wrong way. Also, 1959.
Yeah. God forbid a man wear a dress, but we can hang people, carry around severed heads by the hair.
This really feels like a pre-code movie.
Yeah.
Like this is it's such a weird time for this movie to come out, like in the 50s, because that was during like the atomic age movies, the monster movies.
Yeah.
And here Castle is in a haunted house showing severed heads and women hanging themselves. I'm like, jeez.
I mean, I guess this is why it like, despite the level of craft that went into it, I suppose this is probably why it was considered a B movie, was because it couldn't be marketed as mainstream in the time that it was, you know.
Yeah.
To this day, I don't even think it got rated by like the MPAA.
I wonder if it does.
I don't know.
He tried to kill me.
On IMDb, it is not rated.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't, and I mean, I know like a lot of movies from this era weren't necessarily, especially if they were just playing in like drive-ins and such, but
Lord.
Are you sure about this?
I don't know. It was dark, but it must have been him.
Has anybody seen you since he left you?
I heard some people in that room, but I went by and nobody saw me.
Mrs. Lauren is dead. Lauren said she committed suicide, but I think somebody killed her.
Him.
you mean the creepy guy that's been making comments about killing his wife all night? No, probably not.
And invited you to this house with bars on the windows.
Yeah.
Has a creepy little mustache.
Nah, he's definitely innocent.
No, it's not him.
I have actually not seen the original Thing from Another World yet. I need to. But I'll be honest, it was just this year before I saw John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
And I'm a massive John Carpenter fan, so...
The living room?
I've only ever seen parts of the original Thing from Another World.
Yeah.
I've never sat and watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I'll have to. It's funny, like, I saved John Carpenter's The Thing because I'd heard, like, it was one of his best. And, he's not making movies anymore, so there are a couple that I just haven't watched yet because I want to save for, just, like, draw it out so I have a new John Carpenter movie every once in a while, and The Thing was one of those, and, God, I love it. It's great.
I only recently watched The Thing, too, within the last year and a half.
Yeah. It's a masterwork. It really is.
It is, as Blake Kinnithan would say, a banger.
Yes.
The Thing is a banger.
And I believe is number 3 top 80s horror. Yeah.
If we continue that when we get to the 50s, that's going to be a wild list.
Oh, I've already got I probably have my 5 picks for the 50s already. We might be watching one of them, honestly.
I would definitely consider House on Haunted Hill.
So greedy.
Yeah.
I think I know what the number 1 would be.
Yeah, there's a couple that I could see.
Don't we? What do you mean coming in here?
I didn't want them to take her away.
Drunk.
They will if you don't watch her.
You're drunk. All right, out with it, Bridget. Why did you come into this room?
I'm the only one who understands.
Understands what?
Your wife isn't there anymore. She's already joined them.
Bridget, I've had enough of your spook talk. Get out, you sot, and don't come back into this room again.
What did he call him?
I don't know. I didn't catch it.
Sot?
Yeah. Yeah. Sot? Probably. Sounds like an old-timey word.
Where's what's-her-name? Nora.
I didn't disturb her since I don't think this concerns her.
No, you're right.
Mr. Lauren, isn't there some way we can get out of this house now?
No.
Oh. Rye Guy heard son.
Breaking out.
That's
The only
probably
door
more.
outside is made of
I don't know what he said. He said
The
it so
bars of the
fast,
windows
too.
are set in solid
Yeah.
You gotta stay.
I'm not afraid of your ghost.
Whatever it was menacing coming out of Vincent Price's mouth.
But I am afraid.
I mean,
I would have gotten out of the
A few
room,
hours ago,
too.
the only thing we had in
I was about
common-
to say anything sounds menacing when, Vincent Price has his hands wrapped around your neck.
Death of Mrs. Lauren. So far tonight, one of us was almost killed by a falling chandelier. One of us was mysteriously slugged. One of us has been driven to the brink of absolute hysteria. And one of us is dead. Were these accidents? Suicide? And we must stay here for 6 more hours.
6 hours? 6 of us.
That guy looks like Richard
Who'll
Nixon.
be next?
Yeah, he does.
Doesn't he?
Let me ask
Like
you.
from the side, he did.
Yeah.
You were the first one to see my wife there. Did you also see anything that she could have climbed up on and then jumped?
No.
Did any of you? There was nothing. How then did she get up there so high?
Exactly, Mr. Loren. How? She couldn't have pulled herself up there. She couldn't have dropped from the ceiling. Do you think your wife killed herself?
No. She was murdered by one of you.
Or you, Mr. Loren.
It seems like he's deflecting.
You must have a reason.
We were all strangers to your wife. Only you had a motive for murder.
What husband hasn't at some time wanted to kill his wife? What husband has 1,000 opportunities to do it in such a way so that he'd never be suspected? I'm not such a fool as to hang my wife from a ceiling by a rope.
The fact remains that you, or one of us, murdered Mrs. Loren. And that's a matter for the police.
So how do we get the police?
That's my point. We can't until morning. What began as a silly party given by an eccentric has now involved us all in murder.
For once, Pritchard may be right. If another murder's in the works, let's stop it now.
No.
Why not? Maybe
You are not mistaken, Rye Guy.
Why should even a millionaire want to give each of us $10,000 to spend one night in a gloomy old house? To see some ghosts, have a party?
Archie Bunker. That's great.
Is the verdict guilty of murder?
Oh, this isn't getting us anywhere. Somebody killed Mrs. Loren. We know that. One of us is guilty and the rest of us are innocent. Okay. Now, what we have to do for the next 6 hours is protect ourselves from each other.
Are you talking about the guy
I
sitting
don't
down?
think anything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to my
He's
room.
the one I
I'm
thought
pretty-
looked like Nixon.
Comes in, I'll shoot
He
him.
did from the side profile, but the
Right?
Archie Bunker thing is like, yeah.
He's Nixon on the
innocent
side,
have
but in
no
the
reason
front
to
he's
leave.
Archie Bunker.
He's the demonic love child of Richard Nixon, Archie Bunker.
You're all agreed?
I wish this night were over.
This shot, we get both.
Yeah.
I tell you, it doesn't make any difference. They aren't through without you.
I do gotta say though, these sets in this movie are crazy good.
Yeah. Yeah. The production design in this is pretty fantastic.
What's the use of saying goodnight?
This is totally Clue before Clue.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. It's 100%.
The more we talk about it, the more I'm like, I don't know if this ever happened. Were Vincent Price and Tim Curry ever in a movie together?
I don't think so, but
To my
that,
knowledge, they weren't.
that would have been rad, though.
Right?
Good
That
night.
would have been like,
Oh,
that would have been like Freddy versus Jason level of rad. Which I just recently watched that movie. It holds up.
the movie slaps so hard.
It really does. I love it.
I mean, I may get shit for saying this, but I think it's. I don't necessarily throw this in with the Friday the 13th movies, but it's the best Friday the 13th movie because it's a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Yeah.
Does that make
I would agree
sense?
with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with it. Yeah. 100%. I definitely think it's a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Oh, it totally is.
Yeah.
Because the whole plot is A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's just the fact that Jason's kind of thrown into A Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't even get to Crystal Lake until the very end, like the last 25 minutes of the movie, if that even. It's more like probably 20.
And it's not about killing camp counselors,
No.
It's about killing the kids on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Have you ever read or heard some of the other millions of other scripts that they had for Freddy vs. Jason?
I have not.
Yes, we both do have Friday box sets.
We both have it, yeah.
I'm cracking. That's my Halloween marathon tomorrow, is cracking that open finally.
Yeah, I'm stoked. The only one I've watched so far has been Freddy vs. Jason, but I pulled out. You're gonna hate me for this, Casey, but I pulled out Jason Lives, and I pulled out Jason Takes Manhattan, because I'm like, those are the two that I want to watch first after Freddy vs. Jason.
One of those was the right answer, Sam. Did you watch all of Jason Takes Manhattan?
Yeah, I've seen it. I like it. He kills someone with a guitar. He punches the dude's head off.
My problem with the movie is just the fact that it's called Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah, I get that. Get that.
And me and Blake have argued about this a million times, about him being in Manhattan. And Blake's like, oh, it's half the movie. I'm like, no, it's about 10 minutes of the movie, because he's on, he's in Vancouver for the other 20 minutes that it's supposed to be New York.
He tried to kill you, and he did kill his wife.
Yeah, but that shot of him in Times Square is just, it's so dope.
Have you heard of some of the places they wanted to go for that movie? Like, they wanted to have him boxing in Madison Square Garden.
That would be rad.
They wanted to have him killing someone on the top of the Statue of Liberty.
Here than any place else.
That's awesome.
Keep yourself in and keep quiet.
Yeah, I don't know. I dig it.
Rye Guy has the exact title for the movie, which I've called it a million times. And if they called it that, I would be like, oh yeah, that's an awesome Friday the 13th movie. Jason takes a boat.
And I like the cruise ship stuff.
I do too. I think it's fun.
Because I think it's the same I think it's the same reason that I like Jason X, is because it's that change of scenery and it's a little more claustrophobic,
It's a fresh.
Jason X is Jason in space, and you put it in space at the end of any movie, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Oh no, who could have seen that coming?
I've always wanted to own a house like that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I watched Ready or Not and all the little secret passages in that house. I literally watched it while I was making dinner tonight. I had it on my iPad on the counter while I was cooking, and damn, that movie. Every time I watch it, I like it more.
Ready or Not and House on Haunted Hill would make a great double feature.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is a great effect. I'm sure that it's just filmed in reverse.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I dig it. Favorite Friday film? 2? I like 2, but I'd say my favorite is either Jason Lives or Freddy vs. Jason.
I think that it's the first 3 even numbered movies are my top 3. 2, 4, 6.
Yeah. See, I like 3 a lot.
When I first got into the Friday the 13th movies, I loved part 3. And now I don't love it as much as I did. I still like it.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, I would argue that maybe
none of them are.
None of them are, but I do enjoy 3 partially for the copious amounts of like, hey, look, we're doing this in 3D. Look what we can do shots. Like the yo-yo and you got the eyeball popping out of
I
the
love
screen.
it's like a stick. Like they use
Yeah.
sticks in baseball bats. I'm like, woo, 3D!
Jeez. This movie is terrifying. This is legitimately has some good scares in it.
This movie gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
Like right there's 2 great scares in a row.
Yeah.
Well, 3 counting the woman in the window.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. That's...
Like this poor woman.
Modern day final girl.
She is.
Right?
She's very much the final girl of this movie.
Mm-hmm. We should have included her in our final girls killer countdown.
We should have. That one should have been a 12.
We should have.
We really should have.
Well, did you listen to our Hellraiser episode that we just did?
I have not gotten to that yet. I'm looking forward to listening to it.
Me and Andy talk about Kirsty in that movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, she should have been in our final girl list.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We really should have. It should have been like the Universal Monsters where we did a 12 one instead of just an 8. I have to say, out of all the killer countdowns, especially the ones that I wasn't in, I feel like I had the least amount of problems.
Certainly not.
With the Universal Monsters one.
One of us has left his room. Did you hear anything?
I have one major problem with that one. But
is it the Tom Cruise mummy? Did the Tom Cruise mummy make it?
No, I vetoed it.
I can't remember. Yeah, you vetoed it. What did they put in it in place?
Thing ended up on the list. What happened was Tom Cruise's The Mummy was played. I vetoed it.
Why waste time?
And then Creature from the Black Lagoon was played. Dominic vetoed it.
To play it higher, right?
To get it higher.
Yeah.
Outside of the top 10. And then
Van Helsing was played.
And we didn't have vetoes left.
Yep. I remember. Yeah. And it's not like.
Props to Terry for playing that, man.
Yeah. I don't mind Van Helsing. I don't think it belongs on a top 12 Universal Monsters movie. But
top 20, I would have been like, all right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a perfectly good throwaway nonstop, like Hugh Jackman blowing up CGI things, you know. Yeah. Right, guy, I feel you on the 3D TV. I can't wait to get mine so that I can finally watch my Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D.
I've never watched it in 3D.
Back when you still had like the glasses that were like the red and blue, I had My Bloody Valentine 3D.
Oh yeah, so did I.
Yeah, oh god, I love that movie. That is one of the like most solid,
perfect crime,
modern horror like slasher remakes. It's so good.
Not yet.
That and Freddy's. Did Freddy's Dead have glasses?
Hanging harness.
I don't know.
With its set ever that came out, I don't remember. I know I watched the My Bloody Valentine in 3D with those 3D glasses.
Everything began to work just as we planned.
And when Tom Atkins' jaw gets thrown at the screen.
Be worth all our planning, darling. Where's Nora now? What's happening?
On her way to the cellar. So scared she'll shoot the first thing that moves.
I agree. The 2010 Wolfman is fantastic.
I've never seen it. I need to get that on my watch list.
Oh, I love it. Like, there's so many people that call it a snore fest. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I love it. Like, it's definitely slower paced and everything, but like when the wolf stuff hits, it hits. Like, that is a bloody, gory ride, and I love it.
I'm leery to go into it because the Wolfman is like top 3 favorite monster movie.
Outdoors almost out of a mind.
Yeah,
Dear.
as
It's
someone
music
like
you're
as
hanging-
someone who loves the original Wolfman, I like it
Taking
doesn't
too long.
compare, but
David,
it
you
is.
ought to-
I agree, Rye Guy. It's underrated. I like it a lot.
Who's your favorite Universal Monsters actor?
Actor?
Actor.
When you hear the shot.
Monster, I think we're on the same page. It's Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
But who's your favorite actor?
God, that's so hard. Knee-jerk reaction is Karloff or Lon Chaney Jr.
I was gonna say Chaney Jr. is my favorite, and no one ever brings. It's always Lugosi or Karloff.
Yeah, I guess like weirdly enough, I love Claude Rains as the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
I
he's
mean,
so
just
good.
with his voice, he sells that movie.
Okay, there's a line in that movie, and correct me if I'm wrong. He says he's gonna rape people, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'm like, that's nuts.
Yeah. It's that movie is deceptively a really dark movie for it being, 1933. I can't believe it.
No!
Pretty good stunt there by Mr. Price. Watching Invisible Man, it feels like it's oh my god. It feels like a commentary on like Hitler's rise to power. Am I
Oh
crazy?
yeah.
Like that's
No,
it feels like Whale is commenting on in that movie.
Yeah. I 100% think that it's yeah. Yeah.
Which Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah, because there was the silent one, and then there was the. Because I have. Which one comes in my. I don't know. I'm not going to get up and go grab it, but I have the 30 pack, and it comes with one of the Phantom of the Operas. I wish it came with the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like I've never seen that, but I've heard it's fantastic. I can't wait. I'm hoping soon that I can catch the Spanish version of Dracula, because I found out that that's also in my Blu-ray pack.
I've never watched it either. I've heard it's better.
Yeah, and I
people.
mean I like the Lugosi one, but I don't love it, So
This scene is pretty great too.
yeah, it is. This is like one of the creepiest movies, and then it's almost just like a total Scooby-Doo.
It is. It feels like totally tongue-in-cheek and knows exactly what it is. It's having fun while also scaring you.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure in the theaters, this is when they had like the skeleton fly across above the audiences.
At last you've got it all.
That's awesome.
Even my life. You're going to live to enjoy. Come with me, murderess.
Oof, Hollow Man. I haven't watched that in a while. I don't remember particularly loving it, but I have wanted to revisit it because I haven't watched it since high school. I love how you can see the wires in some of these shots.
I like how there was just a complete jump cut from the actress in the water to the water bubbling. Vincent Price's character in this movie is just the exact same character from Edward Scissorhands, right?
Good night, Doctor. Good night, Annabelle. The crime you two planned was indeed perfect. Only the victim is alive and the murderers are not. You started your game of murder that I was playing too.
There must be some way to get in here.
It's right along here.
Oh, only he could pull off that monologue.
Yeah.
I've shot Mr. Loren. He's down in the wine cellar. I don't think so. It's him. He's alive.
This poor woman is just getting gaslit this entire movie. Like,
I loaded your gun.
oh my god.
I can tell you all now. Trent and my wife were planning to kill me. They failed. Trent tried to throw me in the vat.
Were you talking Lon Chaney Sr.'s
My wife
Hunchback
stumbled and fell.
earlier?
I think so, yeah. I think it's the senior Lon Chaney in it.
Mm-hmm.
Guilty.
God,
Yeah,
he's such an underrated actor, too.
Yeah. Well, and the cool thing about both of them is they did their own makeup, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like, that's so bitchin'. I love it.
Chaney Sr. has, like, some of the best makeup ever.
Yeah.
Like, the Phantom makeup is great. I mean, the Hunchback makeup is terrifying, too.
Yeah.
And, what's the one that's Lost? I mean, he has a lot of Lost movies, but...
Yeah.
For you.
Man, what was that called? I'll have to find it.
I love how it's clearly just like a plastic skeleton, too. And it managed to push his wife into the acid.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Oh, man. I dig this movie. The skeleton by himself.
See, tongue firmly in cheek.
Oh, yeah. 100%. They knew exactly what movie they were making.
Right?
Oh,
All right,
I dig it.
Get rid of that. Oh, man. House on Haunted Hill, man.
House on Haunted Hill.
I hadn't seen that movie in a while.
Yeah, I watched it maybe last year, I want to say. Like, it was probably a last Halloween type of watch. So, that was fun. Oh, man.
I know.
Oh.
Reason we're doing House on Haunted Hill, it is a public domain movie. We're not going to get in trouble for streaming this to YouTube or Facebook. No one will yell at us because no one owns the rights to it.
Woo!
So that's what we'll do with these. So unfortunately,
yeah.
we will not be showing Halloween or Edward
No.
Scissorhands on these, but we get fun movies like House on
But
Haunted
hey,
Hill.
Maybe we can do a Plan 9 from Outer Space one sometime.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
I dig that movie so much.
That's a wild movie that we have to get a bunch of us on to do.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you can't. It wouldn't be just two of us. We would have to get. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We need Blakenstein on that one.
We do need Blakenstein on that. Rip Plan 9, a new one.
Yeah.
And I would love to do we could do some Chaney Senior movies too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Like I think Phantom would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be rad.
Or Hunchback. I've never watched it, and you said you hadn't watched it either.
Yeah, I haven't. So I would love to do Hunchback. I doubt anybody has the rights to the 90s Fantastic Four too. I've heard that's a pretty horrific movie if we wanted to stick with the horror theme.
That is. I don't know. We might get in trouble.
Would we? For the 90s one?
I would assume it's because it was a Fox property.
Yeah, that's true.
Now Disney has it. I think they might yell at us.
Oh, yeah. Disney sucks. I forgot.
Suck. Yeah. All right. Sam, this has been awesome. Thank you for staying way past both of our bedtimes to do this.
No, of course. This is the right way to ring in Halloween. So,
man, only on Halloween could we do this too.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to do a plug for Slashlat quick?
Yeah, let's do a plug for it. So our inaugural episode of Slashlat is now out, where Casey, Blake, and I we put out our perfect horror movie all-nighters. So if we were going to program a night full of horror movies, what would our perfect all-nighter be? This was such a fun episode to record.
Mm-hmm.
You can see our faces while we're doing this on YouTube, or we're on Anchor, we're on Spotify. Are we in the Apple feeds and that type of thing yet?
Not yet. It's
not yet.
Pending,
okay.
So within the next week it'll pop up. But yeah, it's on Anchor and Spotify right now.
Yep, Anchor and Spotify or YouTube. And yeah, it was so much fun to record. I would imagine it's going to be just as much fun to listen to. So
yeah, and we're gonna. I want to try to do these monthly too. These watch-alongs and
yeah, for sure. This will be this. Yeah,
and we'll pick better times than midnight on Halloween. Too.
Yeah, this was fun though. I like this.
Yeah, and I know Rye Guy, you're watching along right now. Thank you so much for watching with us, man.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Send us a suggestion of what you would like to watch. Like,
yeah.
I want to just get some more public domain and stuff in here. Get us, because I heard there is some like 80s stuff that's in public domain too. So maybe we'll pop.
Oh yeah.
On, so, but yeah, go ahead. Give this video a like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. You know the routine. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But yeah. Anyway, let's get out of here, man. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Let's go crash.
Let's crash. All right, Sam. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.